Acme Manufacturing has decided to implement SAP. The board has approved the budget and the project team has been assembled. Now, before a single line of configuration is written, the most consequential decision of the entire program must be made: cloud or on-premises. This question, where the system lives, who maintains it, and how it is accessed, has profound implications for cost, agility, control, and the shape of the entire implementation. Getting it right is one of the most important things a consultant can help a client do. This module sets up that decision. By the end of this module, you will be able to define what on-premises and cloud deployment mean and how each delivers IT services differently. Compare the cloud service models, IaaS, PaaS and SaaS, and the cloud deployment types. Weigh the respective advantages and trade-offs across cost, control, customization, agility, security, and compliance, and advise on which model is appropriate for different client situations. Hold on this slide through all the objectives. In the on-premises model, the SAP software is installed on servers the customer owns or leases, housed in the customer's own data center. The customer's IT team or an outsourced partner is responsible for the hardware, the operating system, the database, the SAP installation, the backups, the security patches, and every upgrade. This model gives the customer maximum control. They decide when to upgrade, what customizations to build, and how the system is configured at every level, right down to the operating system and database parameters. For Acme's first SAP implementation 20 years ago, this was the only option. SAP R/3 ran on Acme's own servers in their Coventry data center, and major upgrades were multi-year programs in their own right. On-premises still suits clients with specific needs: heavily regulated industries, complex, highly customized systems, and countries with data residency laws. In a cloud deployment, SAP hosts the software on its own infrastructure, or on a hyperscaler like AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud, and the customer accesses it through the internet. The customer does not own or manage any servers. They pay a subscription, and SAP handles the hardware, the database, the security patches, and the upgrades. This is the on-demand delivery of IT resources captured in the NIST definition: on-demand self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measured service. The cloud model offers lower upfront capital cost, faster deployment, environments provisioned in hours rather than months, and continuous innovation through automatic quarterly updates. For a new SAP implementation today, or a company starting fresh on S/4HANA, the cloud is almost always the recommended starting point, because SAP is investing its innovation almost exclusively in the cloud. Cloud is not one thing, it comes in 3 layers, and each transfers a different amount of management responsibility from the customer to the provider. With IaaS, infrastructure as a service, you rent raw compute, storage, and networking and still manage the operating system, database, and applications yourself. With PaaS, platform as a service, the provider also manages the operating system and runtime, so you focus on building and running applications. This is where SAP BTP sits. With SaaS, software as a service, you simply consume a finished application over the internet and the provider manages everything beneath it. SuccessFactors and Ariba are examples. Understanding which layer a client is buying clarifies who is responsible for what, a distinction that matters in every SAP conversation. Beyond the service layer, cloud also differs by where the infrastructure lives and who operates it. Public cloud runs on a provider's shared infrastructure, AWS, Azure, or Google, offering maximum agility and minimum IT burden. Private cloud dedicates infrastructure to a single organization, giving more control and flexibility while still removing the day-to-day infrastructure management burden. Hybrid combines both, and many real-world client landscapes are neither purely cloud nor purely on-premises. A typical hybrid scenario: a client runs SAP S/4HANA on-premises or in private cloud for their core ERP, while running SuccessFactors, Ariba, and Analytics Cloud as public cloud services, integrated through SAP Integration Suite on BTP. Managing that complexity is a significant part of what consultants do. Cost structure is often the first dimension a client raises, so it pays to be precise. On-premises is a capital expenditure model, high upfront CapEx for servers, licenses, and data center space, but lower and more predictable ongoing costs once the infrastructure is paid for. Cloud is an operating expenditure model, low or no upfront cost, but ongoing subscription fees that accumulate and vary with usage over time. For many clients, the total cost of ownership over 10 years is broadly similar. The real difference is in when the money is spent and how predictable it is. Framing the decision as CapEx versus OpEx, rather than simply cheaper, is what helps a client reason about it properly. This slide brings the trade-offs together in a direct, side-by-side comparison across the 6 dimensions that matter most in client conversations. The choice is never simply cloud is better. It depends on the client's situation. On cost, on-premises means high upfront CapEx but predictability, while cloud means low upfront cost but variable subscription. On control and customization, on-premises gives full control, sometimes in ways that make future upgrades very difficult, whereas SAP's public cloud follows a clean core philosophy with extensions built on BTP. On agility, cloud customers receive new features quarterly and automatically, while on-premises customers upgrade on their own schedule, often only every 5 to 10 years. Walk the client across each row rather than arguing for one column. Security and compliance are often the deciding factor for regulated industries, so this dimension deserves its own slide. The key concept is the shared responsibility model. In cloud, security is split between the provider and the customer, and being clear about that boundary avoids dangerous assumptions. On-premises gives clients full control over where their data lives and who can access it. Cloud providers, including SAP, invest massively in security, often more than individual companies can afford on their own. But for clients in highly regulated sectors, or where data residency laws apply, the need to know precisely where data resides can be the deciding factor. Surface these questions early in every client conversation. This framework turns everything so far into a practical guide for client conversations. When to choose on-premises, private cloud, or public cloud. Strict data residency laws or classified data point towards on-premises or private cloud. Deep, complex customization that cannot easily move tends towards on-premises or private cloud, while a desire for minimum IT burden and maximum agility points to public cloud. Apply this to Acme. They have relatively standard manufacturing and finance processes with some custom reports, a small IT team, and a growing on-premise maintenance burden. That profile guides the conversation towards a cloud-hosted option that keeps flexibility without the infrastructure burden, the recommendation we make on the next slide. Now we map these concepts directly onto the SAP products Slight Consulting deploys. Classic SAP ECC and R3 is the on-premises world, installed on company-owned or co-located hardware, fully controlled and fully maintained by the customer. Acme is moving from their old R3 system to S/4HANA. The recommendation for them is SAP S/4HANA Cloud, Private Edition, a cloud-hosted system with more flexibility than public cloud, but without the infrastructure management burden of on-premises. Their custom reports will be rebuilt as extensions on BTP, keeping the core clean. Alongside the core, products like SuccessFactors, Ariba, and Analytics Cloud are consumed as cloud services, the hybrid reality for most large organizations, and why integration skills and an understanding of SAP BTP are increasingly valuable in every track. Cloud versus on-premises is not a binary choice. It is a spectrum of options, each with genuine trade-offs across cost, control, agility, and compliance. No model is universally better. Context decides. On-premises offers maximum control and customization. Public cloud offers minimum IT burden and maximum agility, and private cloud sits in between. The right answer depends on the client's industry, their existing landscape, their processes, and their strategic direction. What is clear is the direction of travel. SAP is investing in cloud, clients are moving to cloud, and the skills that matter most work in a cloud-first, clean core, BTP extended world. Complete the quiz in the LMS before the next module, which looks at SAP's specific deployment editions, public cloud, private cloud, and on-premises, and when each one is right. Thank you for watching.